Sanitation. Greatest medical advancement in the past 150 years ahead of antibiotics and anesthesia. But still, 1.8 million deaths every year, mostly children under the age of 5 due to diarrhea caused by poor sanitation and hygiene. Over 200 million people, mostly children under the age of 5, are infected with schistosomiasis and intestinal helminths. 80% of all diseases and 25% of all deaths in developing countries is caused by polluted water and poor hygiene. The excreta of 5.7 billion people, more than 90% of the world's population, is discharged directly into the environment. Trachoma, an eye infection, has rendered more than 6 million people blind today and is caused by poor hygiene. Do we have a solution? Yes, one of the simplest ways to overcome 90% of the above stated catastrophic conditions is to use sealed septic tanks. BIH septic tank, one of the most relevant solutions for today's global sanitation distress. BIH tank addresses a series of practical issues faced by the common man. The unique feature of the tank is that it can be flat packed and assembled and installed at site in less than 2 hours, and moreover, it's ready to perform. The tank, therefore, is ideal even at locations struck by natural disasters where the survivors are often faced with an epidemic breakout due to water contamination. The tank is brought to the site in units and is assembled to form the 5 different operational chambers. The chambers are separated by baffle walls with flow regulators to optimize the tank's efficiency. Another unique feature of the tank is that it is designed to handle all the wastewater generated in a house. The black water, or the water from the toilets, and the grey water, or the water from the rest of the house. This provides the end user a one-point solution for all his water management issues. Black water from the toilet flows to the first chamber and then to the second chamber. This 2-chambered anaerobic reactor provides the ideal treatment for the arriving fecal matter with a right blend of acetogenic and methanogenic bacteria suspended in the 2 chambers respectively. From the anaerobic chambers, the black water flows to the equalization chamber where it mixes with the less polluted grey water. This blending dilutes the sewage for optimal filtration in the anaerobic filter. The 4th chamber is the final anaerobic stage of the tank to biofilter through attached bacterial cultures. After the removal of over 90% of biochemical oxygen demand or organic matter, the mixed effluent flows to the French drain. This is the final unit of the septic tank and performs as the post-treatment unit. The French drain acts on a series of biochemical aerobic and anaerobic reactions and, more importantly, removes the nutrients, nitrogen and phosphorus. The final effluent is now fit for surface discharge. Discharged to the rainwater drain or for aquaculture. The desludging interval is as high as 6 years due to the complex set of anaerobic reactions in the tank converting more than 95% of the organic matter into gas. The sludge, after removing, is a fantastic soil conditioner.
There are over 30 million homes in the United States that are not hooked up to a municipal sewer system. Without the availability of a municipal sewer system, these homes have to treat and dispose of their sewage on their own property. The sewage must be treated because raw or untreated sewage is a major cause of public health and environmental concern. The most common method used to treat sewage by homeowners is a standard septic system. A standard septic system has 5 components. Firstly, a sewer pipe carrying both liquid and solid waste from your home to your septic tank. Secondly, a septic tank. This is usually a watertight container typically made of concrete or fiberglass. Thirdly, a pipe carrying treated liquid, commonly called effluent, from the septic tank to your drain field. Fourthly, a drain field, which is used to help distribute the effluent over a wide area. And lastly, the soil in and around your drain field. Some septic tanks have risers and lids fitted to them, as you can see here. This gives direct access to the interior of the septic tank from the surface of the ground and allows for easy location, inspection and pumping of the tank. Your septic system is designed to use the soil and the natural community of microscopic animals or bacteria living in the soil to remove as many of the impurities in the sewage as possible. A standard septic system is anaerobic. There is no air or free oxygen, and only certain bacteria are able to live and grow there. The septic tank is designed to capture and hold organic solids, for example kitchen waste and human waste, and release liquid without any solids in it to the drain fields. Septic tanks can have 1 or more compartments or chambers. The one shown here has 2 chambers, and they are separated by a wall. This wall has a hole in it to allow liquid to pass from the first chamber to the second chamber. As solids enter the first chamber, they settle to the bottom and form sludge. Floatable solids like grease and paper rise to the top of the liquid and form scum. Periodic pumping of these solids is a normal maintenance requirement for a typical septic system. Every 3 to 5 years is the recommended cycle for pumping. Regular pumping of the solids prevents them from leaving the tank and building up in the drain field. Excessive build-up of organic solids in the drain field causes premature drain field failure. The most common designs for drain fields are leach trenches, leach fields, leach beds, chamber systems, mounds, seepage pits, and cesspools. The above sketch shows a leach field. Every time you take a shower, do some laundry, wash some dishes, or go to the bathroom, liquid and solid material enters the septic tank. A like amount of effluent leaves the tank and travels to the drain field. In other words, 1 gallon of liquid in equals 1 gallon of liquid going out. When the liquid reaches the drain field, it percolates through the rock and is absorbed by the soil. Even though most of the organic material in the waste is captured in the first chamber of the septic tank, the effluent leaving the tank still contains plenty of impurities in it. Included in this liquid are the anaerobic bacteria living in the septic tank, as well as disease-causing microorganisms. The anaerobic bacteria are the ones that over time cause your drain field to fail. When the anaerobic bacteria reach the soil, they secrete a mucal slime for protection. Over years of using your septic system, this slime begins to build and build until it clogs the soil and liquid will not drain through it. This slime buildup is commonly referred to as biomat and is the most common cause of septic system failure. In fact, 95% of septic systems fail due to biomat clogging in the soil. When liquid cannot be absorbed by the soil at the rate at which it enters the septic system, bad odours often develop. Black, nasty pools of effluent can surface in your yard. You may experience slow or no draining plumbing fixtures, with possible overflowing toilets or sewage backing up in your bathtub and or shower. This is typical of septic system failure. Until now, you had really only one option to fix this problem: replacing your drain field. This is a costly expense and a major disruption to your yard. Pumping the septic tank, jetting the leach lines, adding chemical and biological additives to the system are temporary fixes at best. The only long-term way of restoring your septic system is to change the bacteria community in your septic tank. You need facultative aerobes. Facultative aerobes are microorganisms that live and grow only where free oxygen is available. With the right bacteria community, you can dramatically reduce or remove the amount of organic material leaving the septic tank. As these facultative aerobes arrive at the drain field, they quickly break down the biomat and restore the drain field to full function. Septic Genie was designed to grow huge colonies of facultative aerobes in your septic tank and send them out to your drain field to restore it. With a properly operating Septic Genie in your septic tank, your drain field can't fail again from biomat clogging of the soil. By eliminating the intestinal bacteria that cause the biomat to form, you eliminate the biomat and the soil won't clog. We provide you with the right bacteria community, the Septic Genie to grow them in, and an air pump to give precious air to the bacteria. Septic Genie works 24/7 to safely protect your entire septic system. Once the biomat has been removed, liquid will percolate through the soil again and your drain field will have been restored. Any surfacing sewage will dry out and grass will grow back again. With Septic Genie you benefit in the following ways. It completely restores your existing septic system without digging up your yard and replacing it with a new one. It starts working immediately. You'll start to see the results virtually overnight. It eliminates septic smells and odours so that you never have to smell them again. It's easy to install. There is no big disruption to your household while you do it. It digests all organic material in your septic tank, so you can cut out regular pumping. It's a simple technology. There's only one moving part, so you don't have to worry about it breaking down. It's proven technology. With third-party professional testing, you're not taking any chances. It's environmentally friendly. You'll have peace of mind knowing that you're not polluting the environment. It's easy to maintain. Just one annual checkup is all it needs. It's probably the most cost-effective solution for septic failure available today. And it comes with a performance guarantee. If you're not completely satisfied with the Septic Genie, and it doesn't do what we said within 6 months of your purchase, just send it back to us and we will give you your money back. No questions asked.
Hi, this is T.H. Culhane for Solar Cities, and tonight we're looking at a Google SketchUp model of a biogas digester based on the RT India model that we've been building in Cairo and in Germany. And these are very simple biogas digesters. The food simply goes in this PVC pipe that extends down to the bottom of the tank and goes in about halfway to the center of the tank's bottom. That distributes the food for all the bacteria inside. In this tank there's a slurry of water. When you put water in, the excess water comes out as biogas fertilizer out this tube, and the gas is collected from the top, from a small half-inch tube that goes out of the top of the digester and then is piped to the cooking stove or to the electric generator. It's that simple. That's all there is to it. Just basically a couple parts. When we go inside the new design, we have put a table on the inside so that we can have the cold-loving cryophilic or psychrophilic bacteria breeding here at the bottom on this substrate, and the mesophilic or warm temperature bacteria found in animal guts breeding here at the top tray. And the gas can escape through the center, and that way we can have two different populations of bacteria. When the bacteria make the gas, it simply fills this bucket that rises as the methane is produced and falls as the methane is used. It rises as the methane is produced and falls as the methane is used. This is the cycle that we go through. It's like a cylinder in a motor, and it's just pressured by the methane produced by the bacteria themselves. And it's the simplest kind of biogas digester you can build because it's basically just one plastic barrel inserted into another plastic barrel. So you have a plastic barrel, the green one, on the bottom, which contains the water and the slurry of animal dung and food waste, and then you've got this other plastic barrel that's upside down that goes in on top, and at the top, or what was the bottom of the other plastic barrel, is a small tube where the gas comes out. That's all there is to it. It's not rocket science. It can be built out of basically 2 buckets of any size. This particular size, which is about 1,000 liters, is good for 2 hours of cooking gas a day. But that's it. It's just a plastic tank in a plastic tank, and then there's a weight on top. We use bricks, but you can use any kind of weight at all.
Hi, my name is Ryan Gronke. I'm a senior at the University of Florida in Gainesville, Florida, and this project is part of my undergraduate thesis work. It determines the biogas potential at one of the university's on-campus dining halls and also the benefits associated with this project. My advisor is Dr. Ann Wilkie in the Soil and Water Science Department here at the university. Well, for my project, I was determining the feasibility and the potential to produce biogas with food waste from one of the campus dining halls. And what I did was measured the food waste. It was kind of a 2-part experiment. I did a waste audit at the dining hall to determine how much food waste they produce, because right now there's no current measure of that. And they have 2 different waste streams. One is a plate waste, which takes food off of customers' plates that they haven't eaten. They return that, and that currently gets mulched in a food disposal, and it gets sent to the sewage treatment plant. And the other waste stream is from the kitchen, and that just gets disposed of in bags and taken to the dump through a dumpster. And so far what I've done is measured the plate waste in the digester. That was the most easy to obtain and also the most homogeneous at the dining hall. So after I collect the food waste, I grind it using a 5-gallon bucket paint mixer attached to an electric drill, and this homogenizes the waste and also breaks down some of the larger pieces. I then put it in bags, refrigerate it, and each day I feed it a certain amount based on the loading rate and also the volatile solids content of the food waste, which varies depending on which day I collect it and what's in the food waste. Currently I'm feeding it at a 2 grams per liter loading rate of VS, 2 grams VS per liter, and I weigh it on the scale. And to get the required amount, this is on a wet weight basis, but it's approximately 30% volatile solids, 30 to 40%, and then I take that after I get the weight, and I bring it out to my digester and mix it with water. So this is my digester setup and metering setup that I use to feed the food waste and also to measure how much biogas is produced from the system. And I'll go through the steps of what I do to both feed it and also to measure it, and I do this on a daily basis. I first take the food waste. It's about a pound or 128 grams of volatile solids, and I put it in a bucket and then mix it with water to come up to 3 liters, and that's to meet the hydraulic retention time. It needs to be it's on a 30-day hydraulic retention time. So for a 90-liter digester, that's 3 liters of feedstock a day. So I feed it into the influent line here, and then this displaces effluent of an equal volume. Because, you know, it's a closed system, so equal volume in, equal volume out. And then I can take the effluent and measure its volatile solids, and that is used to determine how much volatile solids have been destructed within the digester, and that shows how efficient it's working. And I also take the pH of the effluent digesters generally need to stay around a neutral pH. The methanogens like a neutral pH. And then after that, I give it a couple stirs with the mixer. And that's what I do for feeding. Gas, this line right here, when this produces gas, gas is given off through here, travels through this line and then bubbles into the biogas collector. It bubbles through the water. The positive pressure within the digester, gas is pumped out there, and the negative pressure of the water siphon sucks the gas out. So gas is collected in here, methane gas, and along with carbon dioxide and generally whatever makes up the biogas. And this is the biogas meter, and this is calibrated to 170 liters. So far I haven't produced more than 170 liters, so that's sufficient for now. And the water level here indicates how many liters of water have been displaced in the collector. So it's equal to the gas produced, and that's what I do to measure how much gas the digester produces in a day. And I check this at the same time every day to get the daily biogas production. There's many benefits to this project beyond simply making a sustainable, renewable source of energy, which overall is the biggest benefit. It can be pumped back into the system of the dining hall, and they can use it as cooking fuel. Biogas is readily convertible and readily burnable by most appliances. There might be some slight modifications depending on how much methane content is within the biogas. But beyond this, there's other benefits, including the waste reduction and energy associated with that waste disposal system. The plate scraps are disposed of in the landfill, and that has to get trucked, and gas has to fill up those trucks. And then within the landfill, methane is given off and released to the atmosphere, which contributes to global warming. And also the plate scraps are sent to the sewage treatment plant, and that takes a lot of energy to treat the food waste there. And if this was eliminated and used in an anaerobic digester system, that load to the sewage treatment plant would be eliminated. And also it would be a visual thing for students to come, because overall this is really just a sort of a display size digester. There are many large digesters out there, but this would be relatively small compared to those at the dining hall. Diners and students and visitors can come see it and see a closed loop system in action, and just see what a sustainable dining hall would look like. One possibility would be to use the effluent from the digester and send it to local farms, and then these local farms could grow produce, which the dining hall could then purchase and use in their food, and then that could again be used to feed the digester, and you would have kind of a closed loop system with that, as well as a closed loop energy system. Once the food is digested, it would then give off gas that could be cooked used to cook more food, and this would just create a whole sustainable microcosm within the university.
Yo soy Miguel Villanueva Silva. En este momento voy a hacer la demostración cómo yo preparo mi producto biogás acá en Chimbote. Vamos por acá, le invito para ver en dónde tengo mi preparado. Muy sencillamente, en bien de industrializar los residuos sólidos que anteriormente lo botaba yo, pero ahora ya no lo boto. Ahora más bien lo estoy ajuntando, y con esto estoy obteniendo mi propia energía para cocinar en bien de mi hogar. Esta es la materia orgánica fundamental para poder generar los cuisitos. Como yo tengo mis cuisitos, toda esa materia prima lo voy juntando diario, y voy juntando, acumulando, como ves acá. Acá debo juntar 25 kilos de estiércol de mis cuis para generar mi propia energía. Luego que yo tengo el estiércol secado, seco ya, sin ningún agua, ve. Entonces al secarlo, el sol lo ha quemado toda la humedad y se han quedado sólidos orgánicos puros, con buena energía. En este secado de los residuos sólidos, debo tener o hacer un balance equitativo. En el balance equitativo significa que debo tener un 30% de sólidos, o como decir, un 30% lo que es la caquita del cuy. Y el resto, el rastrojito, debe ser un 70%. Este rastrojito. Pongo una medida de puro estiércol. Puro estiércol. Y luego que pongo la medida, debo poner tener una medida de rastrojo ya. Entonces estoy poniendo 2 medidas de rastrojo por una de estiércol. Luego le doy una mezcladita, correcto. Una vez que le he agregado este proceso, vamos a hacer las medidas para agregar el agua. El agua voy a medir en una botella para dar la medida exacta y descomponerlo, y para que esté disponible para llenar al biodigestor. Ahora, un momentito, le voy a agregar 1 litro de agua. Acá tengo 1 litro de agua. Y luego, como vemos, el agua se ha consumido. Una vez que se ha consumido el agua, esta materia debo dejarlo un reposo de 3 a 4 días. Esta materia. Acá les quiero agregar algo. ¿Por qué le ponemos 2 partes de paja o rastrojo por una parte de estiércol? Tenemos nitrógeno y tenemos carbono. Entonces, como estas cañitas tienen celulosa, entonces la humedad del líquido va a penetrar por la celulosa a los 3 o 4 días. Luego de los 4 días regreso, reviso, estoy revisando y de nuevo mido el agua. Acá va 1 y acá va 2. Listo. Ya aumenté el agua. Ya aumentó el agua y quedó un balance. Ve, equitativamente. Sé que ahorita estamos trabajando con una fórmula 1-1 ya. ¿Por qué digo fórmula de 1-1? Porque tenemos 1 de estiércol, 2 de paja, equivale a 3. Más 1 litro de agua en la primera y más 2 litros de agua en la segunda, ya tenemos un balance de 3 y 3. El componente de los residuos sólidos va a llegar el momento donde se va a convertir como una mermelada de fresa o una mermelada de cualquier fruta que sirve como alimento. Luego lo dejo en reposo por 4 a 5 días de nuevo. Cuando a los 5 días regreso y lo reviso para ver si ha habido la descomposición de todos los residuos sólidos. Porque estos residuos sólidos tienen una densidad de porosidad. Entonces el agua ha penetrado internamente. Entonces ya no va a haber estos granitos, sino todo se va a volver una solidificación. Se va, como dice, volver como una sopa blanda para poderlo manejar. Luego de lo de acá, destapo el cilindro y luego esto lo lleno al interior del digestor o interior del cilindro. Luego que ya está llenado, lo tapo herméticamente y le pongo acá su tapita, su válvula, para luego ir haciendo la prueba de que ya la fermentación ha iniciado y ya va a iniciar a hacer la convulsión de producción de gas. ¿Y cómo voy a tener esto? Luego de 30, 40 días, de acuerdo a la temperatura. Si la temperatura es bastante calorífica, esto se va a hinchar. Entonces, esto ha sido parejo, se hincha, y al momento que se hincha, yo primero vengo y voy a probar acá. Abro la llavecita y va a hacer... va a botar el aire, o va a botar el gas metano, o el primerito está el dióxido de carbono, como decir el carbono. Tenemos que purgarlo. Debe purgarse de 1 a 4 veces. Y a la cuarta vez vamos a poner el fósforo y va a iniciar a arder hacia arriba. Una llama que no se va a ver. Como ya tengo acá, ya tengo mi gas, y el cilindro se va llenando, va a explosionar, entonces ¿qué es lo que hago? Me busco una cámara, me busco una camarita. Entonces, ¿qué es lo que voy a hacer? Solamente me encargo de... abro la llave de acá arriba y ahí estoy llenando mi gas. Estoy llenando mi gas, he abierto la llave y ya tengo el gas almacenado acá. Entonces, luego que tengo el gas, pongamos que yo me estoy yendo a la chacra o quiero obtenerlo, lleno mi cámara de gas que he sacado del digestor, llego a la chacra y prendo, y lo voy a demostrar acá para ver cómo arde. A ver, acá lo hacemos, el aire. Ahí está riendo. Ve, ahí está riendo. ¿Correcto? Ya está riendo el papel ahí. ¿Correcto? Sí.
Les agents de la méthanogénèse sont des micro-organismes organisés en groupes et chacun de ceux-ci exerce une fonction spécifique. Pour commencer, le groupe des bactéries appelées hydrolytiques désagrège la matière organique complexe en fractions beaucoup plus petites. Cette action produit des molécules simples et celles-ci sont solubles dans le milieu. À ce stade, ces mêmes micro-organismes ainsi que d'autres espèces, principalement les bactéries fermentatives, transforment les molécules dissoutes en produits intermédiaires, tels que alcool, acides organiques de plus bas poids moléculaire, et acides gras volatiles, qui comprennent l'acide acétique, ainsi que l'hydrogène et l'anhydride carbonique. Ensuite, un autre groupe de bactéries, appelé acétogènes, commence son œuvre. Celle-ci transforme les alcools et les acides en acide acétique, en hydrogène moléculaire et en anhydride carbonique, qui s'ajoutent à ceux déjà produits. À ce point entrent en action deux groupes distincts de micro-organismes responsables de la formation du méthane. Les micro-organismes méthanigènes acéticlastiques qui transforment l'acide acétique en méthane et en anhydride carbonique. En partant de matières organiques complexes, c'est à travers cette réaction que se produit plus de 70% du total de méthane obtenu. L'autre groupe de micro-organismes appelés méthanigènes hydrogénotrophes utilise l'anhydride carbonique et l'hydrogène moléculaire pour produire 30% du méthane restant. Ce faisant, ils exercent entre autres une action fondamentale pour l'équilibre du processus notamment l'élimination de l'hydrogène produit dans les étapes précédentes. Toute accumulation éventuelle d'hydrogène pourrait bloquer l'acétogénèse et causer une accumulation excessive d'acides gras volatiles dans le milieu. Lorsque ceci se produit, on observe souvent une augmentation de l'acidité du milieu, ce qui contribue à arrêter le processus. Parmi les diverses espèces microbiennes présentes, on trouve aussi celles qui sont appelées sulfato-réductrices. En effet, pour autant que le matériau de départ contienne une petite quantité de sulfate, ces bactéries utilisent une petite partie de l'hydrogène moléculaire disponible pour réduire ce sulfate en hydrogène sulfuré. Finalement, on obtient donc un mélange gazeux contenant principalement du méthane et de l'anhydride carbonique avec une petite quantité d'hydrogène sulfuré. C'est ce mélange que l'on appelle biogaz. Nous avons ainsi décrit les étapes principales du mécanisme de la biométhanisation, que l'on appelle aussi digestion anaérobie. Nous avons montré ces différentes étapes les unes après les autres, dans un but de simplicité. Mais dans la réalité, elles ont lieu plus ou moins simultanément.
Welcome to a virtual tour through one of Bioconstruct's biogas plants. Controlled fermentation of biomass in biogas plants produces a gas that can be used to produce electric or thermal energy on account of its high percentage of methane. The raw materials used in biogas plants, also known as substrates, are often liquid manure, agricultural products and agro-industrial waste. The following animation will demonstrate how electricity and heat are produced from these substrates in biogas plants made by Bioconstruct. This biogas plant uses ensilaged maize as one of its renewable raw materials. With the aid of a wheel loader, the maize is tipped into a cement storage bin, which needs filling up approximately once a day. Silo maize is rich in energy and on account of its high degree of reduction, very well suited for use in biogas plants. This storage bin is equipped with a hydraulic floor discharger that continuously feeds the maize onto a conveyor belt. A scale under the conveyor belt registers the weight of the maize silage. Liquid manure is the most important basic substrate used in this biogas plant. After a short interim storage in the pigsties, it is pumped through pipes directly into the blending pump beside the maize conveyor belt. At the same time, the maize falls off the conveyor belt into this apparatus, which is equipped with 2 mixing rollers. In this way, the maize silage is mixed before fermentation. With this technology, it is possible to supply several fermentation tanks, also known as fermenters, with fresh substrates, even if they are not close together. Liquid waste from the food industry is the third substrate used in this plant. As the availability of such waste varies considerably, a large storage pit should be installed. Integrating this into a hall serves to minimize smells and to help prevent epidemics. Now the liquid waste is heated with hot water to 70 degrees centigrade in a tubular heat exchanger using a countercurrent process. After heating for 1 hour, the hydrogenization of the substrates is complete, so that they can now also be poured into the fermenters. Here is where the biogas is formed. The substrates are continuously stirred in order to prevent layers of material forming at the top or on the bottom. A hot water wall heater heats the substrate to between 35 and 55 degrees centigrade in order to accelerate the formation of methane. On average, the substrate is in the fermenter for a period of around 30 days, before it is filled into another fermenter for a further 30 days to complete the gas formation process. When fermentation is complete, the thin liquid substrate is pumped into 2 reinforced concrete tanks, where it is stored until it can be brought out onto the fields. If the fermenters are filled regularly with biomass, are airtight, heated and regularly stirred, the biogas forms within a matter of days. The formation of gas is a complex and delicate process. The organic fats or carbohydrates contained in the substrates are digested by various kinds of bacteria, and this is a starting point for the development of the gas. If the contents are continually stirred, the gas rises slowly to the top of the container. It consists of approximately 50 to 70% methane, coloured green here, and also carbon dioxide, water vapour, hydrogen and hydrogen sulfide. As water vapour and hydrogen sulfide are problematic for the utilisation of the gas later, it is necessary to treat the biogas now. The gas is first freed from water vapour, coloured blue here. The condensation water is collected in a condensation shaft and pumped out. The aggressive trace gas hydrogen sulfide is now extracted from the biogas in a biological desulfurization plant. By introducing air into the container, certain bacteria cultures are able to establish colonies on the chains. Here they decompose hydrogen sulfide into harmless sulfur and water. The almost unpressurized biogas is then fed into a compressor, where it is brought up to the 70 millibar pressure later required for burning. In order to completely condense any remaining water vapour and to free the biogas from any suspended matter or silicates, the biogas is subjected to a washing and drying process. This is carried out with the vapour at almost freezing point so that the gas is cooled down to a temperature of under 5 degrees centigrade. In order to control the purification of the gas, the biogas is constantly tested with an online measuring system, which records the amounts of methane, hydrogen sulfide, carbon dioxide and oxygen. This guarantees a high degree of efficiency and security. In case of any overproduction of biogas, it is necessary to operate a gas flare, for unburned methane that escapes into the atmosphere is harmful for the climate. The biogas from this biogas plant enables 2-block heating and generating power stations to run and be CO2 neutral. To annually process biogas from 15,000 tonnes of biomass, this plant must produce a total of 500 kilowatts of electricity. Due to the optimal gas processing, the engines can run round the clock for several years with only a minimum of maintenance costs. Up to 30% of the waste heat from the cooling water of the engines is used for the heat exchanger and the fermenter, so that no additional heat is required. The remaining heat can also be used profitably to heat industrial plants, houses or swimming pools. The electric power generated by the generator of the block heating and generating plant is converted to the mains voltage level in the transformer. Then the electricity can be fed into the grid and meets the annual requirements of around 1,000 households. A biogas plant with an annual operating capacity of 15,000 tonnes a year requires 3 to 5 hours work daily. In order to keep the amount of work down to a minimum, we particularly recommend the use of an effective measurement and control technology from BioConstruct. Thanks to a safe exchange of data, it is also possible for someone who is not on the spot to monitor and control the unit. Should it be necessary, either the operator at home or the BioConstruct service team can intervene in processes in the biogas plant. For example, the agitators can be switched on and off. The levels of the containers and the pits can be checked, or the solid supply equipment can be monitored. Information about malfunctions or an expensive standstill of the block heating and generating plant can be registered on BioConstruct's service computer or on the operator's mobile phone. This guarantees a short reaction time when anything unexpected happens and a reliable service by the BioConstruct Customer Support Office. Biogas plants produce high-quality fertilizer as well as electricity and heat. The nutrients contained in the substrates are retained and are more easily available to the plants, as the flow power of the liquid manure and its ammonia content have increased due to fermentation. The unpleasant smell of the liquid manure and organic waste has disappeared as the organic acids have decomposed. A biogas plant is therefore useful for both you and your neighbours. Why don't you also profit by using the smart, environmental friendly biogas technology in BioConstruct's modern plants?